guys, this is James with RogueDuelist TV. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna go over my double negate hero deck profile. So if you guys saw my last video, which the link should be popping up above my head right now, we went over a combo tutorial to basically get out Borreload Savage Dragon, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, Plasma, and Sunrise onto the board with a Phoenix Blade in hand, where you were able to discard that for your Dragoon's negate. And all of that is through a 2-card combo, which I'm gonna talk about in this video through the deck profile. So if you guys haven't seen the combo tutorial, make sure you go check that out. Now, if you guys are watching this video on my RogueDuelist Trade channel, know that I am only going to do Yu-Gi-Oh! Investment content on RogueDuelist Trade. So if you guys would like to see more content like this, or other types of content like Yu-Gi-Oh! Skits, which is something I want to be able to start doing, you definitely need to go subscribe to RogueDuelist TV. You guys can find a link to my RogueDuelist TV channel in the description down below. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Here is my main deck and my extra deck. Let's go ahead through the main deck first. So to start it off, we have 3 Elemental Hero Stratos, and I actually have this in a certain order just to kind of explain to you guys how to get to that 2-card combo. So if you guys saw the combo tutorial video, when I summon Stratos, I search Vion, which I also play 3 of. So Vion basically gets you into the exact same combo. If you summon Stratos, you search Vion. If you summon Vion, you're going to pitch Shadow Mist and you're going to add Stratos to hand. Then you do the same thing where you banish Shadow Mist and get Polymerization, and then you bring out your Fire Flint Lady and then take out Fire Flint Lady to bring out Stratos, then search Malicious. So you just do the combo a little bit backwards in the beginning, but it still gets you to the same place. So a card that can get you to either of these cards is Rhoda. Rhoda is the other way to get to this engine, or of course 3 Emergency Call and a Hero Lives, which helps you get to the first piece of your combo. Now, getting to the second piece of the combo, I run 3 Fire Flint Lady. So Fire Flint Lady really is the heart and soul of getting into your combos and helps you get away from having to make Ferris kind of the only way to get you to build a good board with heroes. Now you don't have to be locked into only heroes. Honestly, this card is what can make heroes more meta relevant by being able to get negates onto the board. So to get to Fire Flint Lady, you can use Infernoble Arms Durendal. So this card we play 3 of as well because it helps us get to her. It's also an equip card, which is a very good other target to use for Isold if you use your Phoenix Blade. Basically, you equip this card to a monster, can be on your opponent's side of the field, and send it to the graveyard, and then search a fire level 5 or lower monster from your deck to your hand. So that searches Fire Flint Lady. And then Heritage of the Chalice also can search Infernoble Arms Durendal from your deck or your graveyard. So this also gets you to this, which gets you to Fire Flint Lady. So next we're gonna get into our hero engine, and we still play a very strong hero engine in this deck. But in terms of the Vision hero engine, we have slimmed that down a bit to only 1 Ferris and 1 Increase. And the reason why is that, again, this is not your main combo facilitator anymore in this deck, but it is very good to have if you do not happen to draw into any of your Fire Flint Lady cards. You can still pull the typical pure hero combo. Let's just say you have Stratos in hand and you have another hero, you summon Stratos, get to your Ferris, and then you can get into Trinity, you can get into Plasma. There's a plethora of things that you can try to get into. So that's why we still play this as a 1-of, to give you more options in case you don't open well, or to give you more options in late game. And next is our Elemental Hero engine outside of Stratos, which we've already showcased. We play 1 Honest Neos, 1 Liquid Soldier, and 1 Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is actually very pivotal for the combo that I mentioned. You need to dump Shadow Mist to get that extra search of Vion. So that's very important. Liquid Soldier really is just a good extender overall. It really is just another element to get you into your combo. But if you can get Liquid Soldier into your hand without having to use Isold, it gets you into an easy +1 with his draw effect. He's just a very good card. Also in late game, if you draw into him, you can summon him, special a monster from the graveyard. You can really do some great stuff just with this card alone. And then Honest Neos really is just good to be able to attack over monsters. And sometimes this really can bring game if you can get into Trinity. So I like to play Honest Neos at least at 1. Next is our slimmed down Destiny hero engine. It's very simple. We play 2 Mally and we play the Plasma. In my mind, Plasma is the ace card in a hero deck. From my perspective, being able to cancel out all of your opponent's monster effects on their side of the field is very strong. And this card is what makes heroes worthwhile, because plenty of other decks can play a bunch of negates, but getting 2 generic negates on the field with a Plasma, a one-sided skill drain, That to me is what separates heroes, and also Dark Law as well going into Dark Law, but I really feel Plasma is a great card. And Malicious is just a great extender. It also lets you have access to extra hero Cross Crusader, who we do play in this deck, to basically help you in late game. And then we do play the Evil Hero package. Honestly, guys, there's no reason why you shouldn't, except for financial reasons, because it's really expensive. But a Dusted Gold and Dark Calling, it's very easy to get a boss card. This is really great for late game or as a follow-up play if your opponent interrupts you. If you can get into a Dusted Gold, if somehow your opponent can wipe your board that you are able to build through this deck, getting into a Dusted Gold, a lot of people sometimes can't out him because he's really hard to get off to the field, and he's also just a built-in Regaiki for face-up monsters. You absolutely got to play this if you want to be competitive. Next, we play 3 Mask Change, and this really isn't even just to get into your masked heroes. Honestly, Mask Change in my perspective is like Called by the Grave for impermanence. If your opponent decides that they're going to imperm your Stratos on summon, you Mask Change the Stratos, imperm no longer has a target, and you still get the Search for Stratos, which lets you still get into that full combo that I went over in my tutorial. So Mask Change in my perspective is the best way to dodge cards like imperm, but also being able to have access to this card by being able to get into cards like Dark Law. Dark Law can be a very hard card to deal with, so just being able to get into other boss cards in late game, in my perspective, Mask Change is absolutely warranted to be played at 3. And then for the rest for our hero engine, we do play Poly and we do play Miracle Fusion. So you definitely have to play these for the combo that I mentioned. I have considered to play 2 polymerizations, but I do feel the deck is very delicately balanced right now with the amount of bricks that you have to play. And honestly, it's very hard to brick with heroes in general, especially at its purest form. So I feel you can play some bricks, especially to be able to build out the board that I showed in my tutorial. So I think playing 1 polymerization is fine because you can get this back from the graveyard, and we could talk about that when we get to the extra deck. So now to go through all of the bricks that we play in order to play some of these engines. This is our Isold engine. We play Phoenix Blade and we play Grappler Angler, which gets us into Christian Halki Fibrax. And also Divine Sword is a great card to get back into hand to have a discard for Dragoon. I also was playing Recover in order to get into Borreload Savage Dragon by using him and Sunrise to get into it, but I realized that Plague Spreader can be used with Malicious to also get into Borreload Savage Dragon, and I think I'm going to go that route instead. I'm still waiting for my Plague Spreader to arrive, but I am likely going to be playing that instead, but Recover is definitely another option. And then Red Eyes Fusion really isn't a brick because if you draw into it and you don't draw anything else, it's still a 1-card Dragoon, so I don't know if you can call that a brick, although you don't always want to see this in your hand. And then also, of course, Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon. Now, these cards can really be swapped out with anything. These are kind of like your tech cards or hand traps. I play 3 Impermanents in the main deck, 1 Evenly Matched, and 1 Effect Veiler. The reason why I'm playing 1 Effect Veiler is 1, to give you another form of negation on your opponent's turn, but also it's another level 1 tuner. So if for some reason my Recover or my Plague Spreader, I'm not able to use it for any reason, it just gives you another option to go into so you can still get into that Borreload Savage Dragon. So that's kind of why I play it, although I don't think it's necessary. Evenly Matched is just a really good card, and I think that's just something to have. It's good because you can still set it on first turn, although it is a bit slower because you have to wait for the battle phase and hope that it doesn't get destroyed before then, and it's just a very good board wipe if you need it. An Imperm honestly is just a very good generic hand trap to be playing, but really this can be swapped out with anything else. I am not really tied to this, and also I'm not very tied to my side deck as well. I haven't played in any tournaments, so I can't really say for sure what's best or not. Now I can give kind of perspective on what I've seen in the format, but definitely guys, I think you can have a lot of creativity in both these cards and what's in the side deck. So now getting into the extra deck, we play 1 Isold and we play 1 Christian Halki Fibrax for obvious reasons if you've seen the tutorial, in addition to Cross Sheep, Link Ross, and Predaplant Verde Anaconda. So what I love about this hero build is now we can play these types of cards. It's always so frustrating when you play Destiny Fusion or when you play Ferris and you lock yourself into only heroes and you can't do anything else. But now with Fire Flint Lady, these cards are all possible and can be played and gets you into much better boards in my opinion. But if you're not able to get into those boards, we still play 1 extra hero Cross Crusader, because if you don't open up with any of the cards that get you to Fire Flint Lady, for the most part, you're likely gonna be able to get into your standard standard hero plays, which you should be familiar with if you played pure heroes before. And I also play the one extra hero Wonder Driver. Now you really could swap this out with something else like different mass change targets or different miracle fusion targets. The reason why I have this in here is for late game. If for some reason I want to be able to get into Trinity, I want to be able to get that polymerization back into my hand, or it's also a good way to be able to get mass change back into your hand. I'm kind of on the fence with this card because I haven't play tested it enough to really see if it comes in clutch. But those are the reasons why I play it. Again, if you guys saw my tutorial, I play 2 Sunrise. And the reason why is because you have to link off with the other Sunrise. And I like to have Sunrise on the board with Plasma because it gives him battle protection and it helps you pop additional cards when you go into the battle phase. And in addition to that, Sunrise, what I love is he's a generic attack increase for all monsters on your side of the field based on how many different elements that you have on your side of the field. So it gives you an attack boost for your Dragoon, your Borreload, Savage Dragon, even your Predaplant Verde Anaconda, in addition to your Plasma. So I really like Sunrise, and that's why I play 2 of them. I like to have him on the board. And then of course we play the one Malicious Bane, the one Trinity, as I mentioned. I only play 1 Dark Law, and again, you could probably replace Trinity or Extra Hero Wonder Driver if you want to play 2 Dark Law. And I do play 1 Masked Hero Blast because it does give you some removal for the back row. Sometimes his attack reduction on one of your opponent's monsters can come in clutch. But again, I primarily play these 2 just to be able to avoid impermanence for some of my main combo starters. And then of course, we play the 1 Dragoon and the 1 Borreload Savage Dragon. That completes the extra deck. And then lastly is the side deck that I have. And again, guys, I'm not married to this, but this is what I've put together so far. I have Nibiru for some of the main combo decks, especially because Dragon Link has become very prevalent right now. But honestly, I'm sure they have ways to probably avoid Nibiru for all I know. I play 1 Effect Veiler. I might get rid of that. I probably will get rid of that. I'm not really too sold on that one. I play the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. Now that we have that at 1, I think you gotta play it for back row removal. Now, I have 2 Cosmic Cyclone here, but I would replace these with Evenly Matched. I just don't have a playset of Evenly Matched. I'm actually waiting for the Spirit Charmer Structure deck because it's likely that we're going to be seeing Evenly Matched come in as a common in that product, and I am not somebody that necessarily cares too much about highest rarity that much if it's going to save me like 30 bucks a card. So I am waiting for that to get my Evenly Matched. So I would replace that with Evenly Matched. Also, Super Poly. Honestly, I feel Super Poly is going to come back into this format largely because of Dragoon. Dragoon and Predaplant Verde Anaconda are both dark monsters, and I believe there's also a target where you can use a fusion monster and a dark monster on your opponent's side of the field, which can also work. So that's why I also play Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Honestly, this is just the only target that I have. I may even consider the 3 dark one, depending on the boards that's kind of in the meta right now. But that's kind of my reasoning behind that, is because it's an out to Dragoon because he can't respond to its effect. Also, for the same reason, Dark Ruler No More just breaks boards. Your opponent can't respond with monster effects, which is very, very prevalent right now in today's meta. And honestly, Dark Ruler No More and Super Poly are kind of like the best outs to this deck. I've also considered main decking Anti-Spell Fragrance. Anti-Spell Fragrance is another way to avoid Dark Ruler No More from being able to be played. Now, it doesn't avoid Super Poly because as you activate Anti-Spell Fragrance, your opponent can chain Super Poly. So it doesn't out that, at least it kind of cuts out one of the other main cards that really can affect this deck. So I think for going first strategy, you probably could get rid of maybe Effect Veiler, Imperm, and Evenly Matched in the main deck and put in 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance. And then lastly, I played the 1 Red Reboot. I think Red Reboot really does come in handy every single time I see this card come in my opening hand, especially if you're playing Eldritch or even if you're playing Dogmatic. I notice in today's meta, there's a lot of trap cards being played, especially with Phantom Knights and the Phantom Knight engine becoming more prevalent as well. And Red Reboot's another way to get away from an Imperm, which can really slow you down. So that's really it on this deck profile, guys. I would love to know what you think. What would you guys change? Let me know down in the comments below. Again, I'm not completely married to a lot of the cards, probably out of the 5 tech cards that I have in the main deck and the side deck, and some of the cards in the extra deck. I would love if you guys would like to play test this. Let me know if you make any changes in your version of the deck. And guys, if you haven't done it already, make sure you subscribe to RogueDuelist TV. We're gonna have a lot more content on this channel. I'm definitely gonna do other hero profiles styles and tutorials and stuff like that. And I also want to do other things, as I mentioned, as like doing Yu-Gi-Oh skits and just have some more fun type of content, more shorts that we can kind of do on this channel. So if you guys would like to be part of it, make sure you subscribe to Rogue Duelist TV. And to help the YouTube algorithm, make sure you guys like this video. That way we can help spread this content. We can grow this channel together. I appreciate you guys stopping by. We'll see you on the next episode of Rogue Duelist TV.